Today we're doing hashtag my first gun, and this is going out to Tony at Lakeview Outdoors, and that's coming up next year on Just CB Outdoors. Welcome back, everybody, and this is going out to, you know it, you already heard, Tony at Lakeview Outdoors. If you guys haven't heard what we're doing here, this is Jamie's idea from the JH586 channel. I'll leave a link down below. He wanted to do a video series to get awareness out there about Tony and his wife with her medical issues and their financial troubles because of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave a link down below to Lakeview Outdoors, a link down below to Jamie at JH586 that started this series, and also to the Scotsman's channel down there where the fundraiser is actually happening. So go ahead and check those links out down below. So I actually still own my first gun here, and what I got here, I got it sitting right here, is a Sears Model 25 22 long rifle. You guys can see it right there. Now, of course, it originally did not have the scope on it. I put this on here because I want to do some target testing with this gun this year. But what this is, it's kind of like a Marlin 60. It is a tube-fed 22, takes long, shorts, and long rifle in it. Now, the best thing about this is it was made at, Fort Sears. At one time, you could walk into a Sears and buy this. This was my grandpa's gun here. And the really cool thing about this is when I was a kid, he always loved feeding the birds. He lived up in central Wisconsin. And every so often, a squirrel would get into the bird feeders. And I could hear the screen slowly go up. And what he did was he actually shot those squirrels off the bird feeders with this gun when I was a little kid. Now, unfortunately, the reason why I got this is because my grandpa passed away. He actually passed away when I was like 13 years old or a little bit younger. But the cool thing is I got the memories of him shooting this. Now, when I turned 18, my grandma gave this to me to remember my grandpa by. Now, unfortunately, growing up, I wasn't around guns that much. I'll have more of a story because I'll have a shotgun coming up here in a later video that was my dad's. I really didn't grow up around guns, and I was actually kind of afraid of them. But this was my first gun here, and I didn't really shoot it until probably about 2008, 2009, somewhere in there. But this is my first gun, and I still own it, and I'll never get rid of it because it's my grandpa's. Like I said, it's a tube-fed design that actually holds 18 22 long rifles in it. Ooh, scary liberals, man. Tube-fed? 22? That's a lot of rounds, man. They wouldn't like this thing anymore, even though it don't look scary. But this is a pretty cool setup here. Like I said, I am going to get it out and shoot it again. Let's do a little flyby here so you guys can see it here a little bit better. I've got one video, I think, with this gun, and like I said, I really need to get it out and do more videos on it. But now I got a bonus here. I'm going to show you the first gun I ever bought. Now we got the first gun I ever bought, and that would be my Beretta 92 FS. The 22 was check and clear, just hard to show that on a tube-fed, but you can see there's no magazine in this one. There's nothing in the chamber. This gun's safe to handle. Now this one right here was the first gun I ever bought. I picked this up in 2012. And after I got into firearms with the 22 rifle, what I did was I actually took that 22 rifle to my in-laws. Yes, my father-in-law and brother-in-law are the ones that actually got me into shooting. And they looked it over and they said, yeah, that'd be fine. Well, ever since I've owned that, I bought one of those milk jugs of Remington Golden Bullets back when it came in the milk carton. So I finally busted that out and shot it and was like, man, that's fun. Well, my father-in-law had his Beretta 92 FS there, and he said, hey, here's a 9mm, go ahead and shoot it. And I shot it, and I was hooked. After shooting the 22 for a couple of weeks, and then I ended up shooting this and ended up falling in love with it, and it's been all downhill since, because now I got a YouTube channel and everything else from it. But this is the first gun I ever bought, and the funny thing about this is I had to wait until we got our income tax check. Well, at the time, I was a store manager for O'Reilly Auto Parts, and I was actually at a manager's conference down in Nashville, Tennessee, and I'm from Northwest Ohio. And I could not wait for that manager conference to get over with because I knew our income tax hit, and as soon as I got home, I got to go buy this. Let's just say that was the longest weekend I ever had, so I went and bought this, and at that time, it was during the Obama era, and guns were hard to find. But believe it or not, I still got a decent price for this, but only one gun store in my area had one. Like I said, it was the first one I ever shot, so I fell in love with it, so I was like, man, I got to get my own. Now, the funny thing is, my father-in-law has this, and then my brother-in-law, he has the M9, which is the same thing. We all three have these guns now, and I really like shooting this. My boy and I actually got this out a couple weeks ago and shot it. He's used to shooting my 1911. He loves that, and he loves shooting my Glock, and he got this out, and the first thing he noticed is, even with the Glock, he grabbed a hold of this and was like, man, that thing's like holding a brick. If you ever held one of these Bred 92 FSs or M9s, it is like a brick. I got some lock fin grips on there to help with that, but I thought it'd be cool to also show you guys the first gun I ever bought and tell you the story behind that, and my first .22 rifle. Like I said, we're praying for you, Tony, Lakeview Outdoors. Hopefully your wife pulls out of this. We really need to help him out where we can. That's why we're doing a bunch of these videos to get the word out there, to spread it through the community. Because we all know, even though YouTube harasses us, the 2A community here is the best community on YouTube. So as always, don't forget to check out the links down below. This time, the links are going to be to the Scotsman, where I'm going to have the video where to donate. Jamie at JH586 that started this series, and Lakeview Outdoors. Check all three of those out, and make sure you subscribe to all three if you're not. Well, that's all I got for today. We are one nation under God, and I'll see you all on the next one. Praying for you, Tony, and your family.